Well, good morning and welcome to the Grow Omaha Show, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics, the nation's #1 all-star cheer gym. This is the only show in the metro area that talks about the growth and development of your favorite city. And without any further ado, I am going to bring on my co-host, a legendary real estate deal maker, Trenton Magid.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Jeff.
Well, good morning to you. And, it's funny, I mentioned Cheer Athletics as one of our sponsors at the top of the show. In a little bit, we're going to be talking about a big project that Cheer Athletics is doing in Gretna. But for now, we have a few other things to bring up. And one of them is I want to reiterate once again, just like we did last week, that we encourage you to go to the brand new growomaha.com website. When you get there, you will see on the front page all sorts of news stories. You're going to see a section for news briefs. You're going to see our project of the day each business day. We post a construction project and talk about it. Scroll down a little further. You're going to see news stories. Some of those news stories are written by Grow Omaha. Others are written by our partners, the Greater Omaha Chamber, Visit Omaha, Eric Miller, who is a transportation expert. We have all sorts of things on there. The key thing, though, Trenton, for people who want to stay in the know between Thursday afternoons when the newsletter comes out and between Saturday mornings when the show is on, is to check growomaha.com every single day.
Growomaha.com, you've got entertainment, you've got restaurants, you've got development, everything that's going on. It's all one-stop shopping, ladies and gentlemen. We're excited about it. We're seeing the traffic really increase, and there's no better source for business and entertainment news. It's like what the local paper used to be.
Amen. Now, you mentioned earlier restaurants, and we happen to have a Grow Omaha Eats restaurant review this week, written by our good friend Chris Corey. He reviews both restaurants and movies for Grow Omaha. Now, I do want to say before we talk about this week's restaurant review topic, we've got a new sponsor for the Grow Omaha Eats restaurant review, and it's Allmakes. Allmakes is the office equipment company. Trenton, you and I have known the Kavich family that runs Allmakes since we were kids, and that's not the only reason we love them, because they just do a great job providing services and products for their customers.
I've known at least three, I know 4 generations, but 3 that have run it so far, hopefully a 4th and a 5th. They do a wonderful job, well over 100 years, and we're excited to have Allmakes on board.
Yes, Allmakes office equipment and supplies provides the Grow Omaha Eats restaurant reviews for you. And this week it is Memoir. Memoir is the brand new restaurant owned by Flagship Restaurant Group, opened earlier this year on the northeast corner of 10th and Harney Street. It's inside the brand new Brickline building, which is a very, very impressive urban renewal, urban infill project at the heart of downtown, just off of the Gene Leahy Mall. Now, it's interesting. Chris's review of Memoir is quite positive. He liked the place a lot. And I've heard a rumor, Trenton, because if you're reading the review, in there he says when he went for the first visit, Chris always visits these restaurants 2 times to make sure he's well-fed. Not well-fed. He makes sure that he knows everything he possibly can about the restaurant. But he said while he and his wife were there, they ran into some good friends who sat down with him. Rumor has it that you and Amy were the 2 good friends.
It was like we made an appointment to be there. We were there about 20 minutes before them. We had some appetizers and everything. And then we didn't confuse the staff. They understood, but we moved over to their table.
I got to ask, though, did you bias the review?
No.
Did you have any input in the review whatsoever?
I hope so, because we were able to try more dishes, and Jen and Chris got to experience more and have a really lively conversation. And because Chris and Jen try to go incognito. They try to go to have every person's experience, but now the reviews are getting so popular that some of these restaurants, I think, are onto them. So they have a whole setup of fake mustaches, glasses, tails.
Well, if you ever see 2 people dining at a nice restaurant wearing Groucho Marx masks, it's probably Chris and Jen Corey. And by the way, another story really fast about that before we press on. We're probably spending a little too much time talking about this, but what the hell, it's fun. The second time they went to Memoir, they had another friend sitting at the bar, and she said, "Hey, are you here to do a Grow Omaha Eats restaurant review?" And they were both like, "Shh, shh. You're supposed to say incognito." And apparently they did get really good service after that.
Well, and I think we can out who she is because she's kind of related to the show as well. At least her family is.
Say it.
And that is Darcy Dingman from Dingman's Collision Center, who has an essence in this room as well.
They are one of our sponsors. Now, let's get into our news of the week. Oh, by the way, before we do that, though, if you want to read that review by Memoir, just go on to the growomaha.com website. On the navigation bar, you'll see the word reviews. There's a drop-down menu. You can choose Eats for restaurant or Flicks for movies, and you can see all the reviews going back to the beginning of time when we started doing these reviews. All right, time for our news of the week, brought to you by Eagle Mortgage. You know Holly Schneiderwind. She is the owner of Eagle Mortgage, well known in the Omaha business community. She does a fantastic job. So does everyone on her team. They will help you with your conventional FHA, VA home loan. Also do some unique and specialized loans as well. No matter what, we encourage you to meet with Holly or one of her team members if you are thinking about buying a new house. It's expensive, right? You know, home
Rates
prices
are coming down a little bit, though.
Excuse me?
The interest rates, for the first time, Holly said in her weekly market report on interest rates, they've come down a little bit.
Well, that's encouraging. People should go out and buy a house then. And if you're doing that, just stop by Eagle Mortgage. You can find them in person at 114th and Davenport or online at eaglemortgagecompany.com. Okay, Trenton, a couple cool demolition stories. We normally talk about construction, but often we must demolish before we build. 3 demolition projects right now for you to chew on. Number 1, UNMC is in the process of demolishing houses and small apartment buildings near 39th and Dewey to make way for a $65 million residence hall. Number 2, Creighton University getting close to finishing a long demolition project of a 9-story, 58-year-old building known as Kiewit Hall, southwest corner of campus. And finally, H&H Chevrolet, gone at 84th and L Street.
I like demolition for a better purpose. Not just demolition for the sake of demolition, which is fun to watch, but because we're not only getting a better product and we're getting higher tax base for our fair city. So demolition with a purpose is what it's about.
You know, we were talking earlier about our partners who write articles for us on the new growomaha.com website, and one of those partners is Visit Omaha, which is the Convention and Visitors Bureau for the city. And they had an article on this week's website about 800 scholarship recipients. The name of the scholarship is the Hagen Scholarship from the Hagen Scholarship Foundation. They come from across the country, and as part of their scholarship, they're required to attend a national conference. That was just held earlier this week in Omaha. 4-day event, brought in $1.1 million worth of visitors spending. But it's interesting, and one of the reasons why I'm excited about having Visit Omaha write for us now, a lot of our Grow Omaha listeners and subscribers don't realize that there are so many different groups constantly coming into Omaha, and every single one of those groups brings in people who likely have never been here before and who spend a lot of money. There's a perfect example
They
of
spread the
just
word,
that.
and then you see media attention, all these sporting events, all these conventions. Really helps.
A quick construction project update for you today. Exterior sheeting, kind of the sidewalls, the beginning of the sidewalls, have gone up on the Behavioral Health Hospital under construction as part of the Children's Nebraska campus. Badly needed project, and it is coming along at pretty fast pace, it seems
That's
to me.
going to be a big building and definitely worth it.
The other thing I want to mention, a little bit of a plug, if you will, for those of you who work in commercial real estate or in a profession related to commercial real estate, construction, development, investment, appraisal, economic development, whatever the case may be.
Legal.
The Commercial Real Estate Summit is an organization that puts on a major conference every year. This year it is coming up in August at CHI Health Center. However, the CRE Summit Planning Committee is putting on a free webinar. It'll take place Wednesday, July July 24th. Key topics include condominium law, real estate commissions, artificial intelligence, and commercial real estate. It's going to be available via Zoom. It's free, Wednesday, July 24th at 11:30 a.m. If you want to reserve your spot and participate, go to attendcresummit.com. CRE as in commercial real estate, attendcresummit.com, and then click on free webinar when you get in there, and you can participate. And even if you're not in the commercial real estate profession, maybe you just have an interest.
It's their 35th anniversary. What's the date of that this year? August?
I believe it's August 23rd, the actual in-person conference.
Okay.
And you can register for that at the same website.
Yeah, and you get hundreds of people there. It's a great networking event.
Okay, lastly, a series of bond issues are going to be on the November election ballot. The city council approved these. I had a first reading for these this past week, and then the actual final vote to put them on the November ballot will take place July 30th, and we expect it to be a yes vote. And so some of these things include transportation bonds, $81 million worth of transportation bonds, and this would pay for projects including Fort Street improvements west of 120th Street, the L Street Viaduct at 38th, Saddle Creek and Road and Dodge Street Bridge replacement. That'll be a big one. Another one is 180th Street. From Harney Street south past Pacific. Then there's going to be another part of the bond called a public facilities bond, $146 million. The big part of this would be the downtown police and fire building, and then also that renovation and expansion for CHI Health Center, which is a big project.
Great.
And then finally,
our city.
Yep. Then also, we won't go into detail these, some street preservation bonds, public safety, Parks and Rec, but the big projects would be the big time road repair like the widening at 180th and Pacific, and then the police and fire facility downtown and the CHI Health Center. So those projects are moving forward. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your news of the week brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. We're going to take our first break of the hour, and when we come on, we're going to bring on Mike Evans. He is the mayor of Gretna, and our good friend Craig Wolf, who is the owner of Cheer Athletics, going to talk about a really cool project planned for the Highway 370 corridor. You are listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Cheer Athletics and Dingman's Collision Center. Back in a moment on News Radio 1110 KFAB. And welcome back to Grow Omaha. My name is Jeff Beals, sitting next to Trenton Magid, and we are brought to you by Cheer Athletics and Dingman's Collision Center. Dingman's has four metro area locations: Northwest Omaha, Papillion, Southwest O, Midtown on Saddle Creek Road. Rumor has it there might be more. And they do a great job providing any sort of auto body service. And one of the locations even provides mechanical service as well, Dingman's Collision Center. All right, we're going to talk about a very cool project in Gretna. And we have with us the mayor of Gretna, Mike Evans, along with Craig Wolf, who, with his wife Tiffany, is the owner of Cheer Athletics. First of all, Mr. Mayor, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for being here, Jeff and Trenton. I really appreciate being here. Anytime I can be with two great guys and talk about our fantastic city, it's a great thing.
Well, we appreciate you saying that about us as great guys, and everyone knows your city is fantastic. Craig, get up here to the microphone, please. How are you today?
Morning, guys. As always, it's fantastic to be surrounded by greatness, and we have the mayor here today, so even better, right?
I thought you were going to say surrounded by greatness plus with Jeff and Trenton.
Well, and combining the city of Gretna and Craig and Cheer Athletics, Craig and Tiffany Wolf, what more could you ask for? And Cheer Athletics, one of our major sponsors of the show, it just works together. Now, the only thing that could get better is if we could announce some large project in Gretna with Cheer Athletics.
Yeah, that would be great. In fact, I think that's kind of what we're here for. So do you want to start, Mike, and give us your thought, and then we'll have Craig talk about it as well?
We'll have Craig talk about it because it's his project, but we are just so fortunate to have somebody like him that actually is part of our community. They live out there, and they are part of our community, and then wanting to invest in it and do the really great things that, you know, it's not just a project. This complements our community so well. I can't be more excited about it.
So, Craig, what exactly is the mayor talking about?
So Tiffany and I and our gym director, Krista Gilson, have been looking for quite a while for a permanent home. Not to say that the one we're in now is not permanent, but we really wanted to be a part of a community. And we've been working with the mayor to move to Gretna, and we are excited to be in the process of purchasing land on 198th and 370. The anchor tenant will be Cheer Athletics, and we're going to be developing approximately 34 acres right in that area over the next 24 to 36 months. We're very excited about that.
Okay, so this will be a 34-acre development. It'll be west of the new Gretna Landing that we've talked about quite a bit on the show. And you said Cheer Athletics' new gym and facility will be the anchor. How big will that building be?
So we are still working on the exact square footage, but we believe we'll be in the 70,000 square foot. It'll be a cheer and dance center, and we'll also have a workout facility in there for parents, so they should be very excited about that.
And of course, the current Cheer Athletics space is located southwest of highways 370 and 50 in Papillion, and you've gotten a lot of praise for how nice that facility is in there. What might be even better when you go to your new building when it's completed in Gretna?
Well, as anybody knows, your first building, what are the things that worked out well? What are the things that you can improve on? We've got some major plans that I can't really talk about right now that'll be internal with Cheer Athletics, but certainly space and acoustics will be a big part of this. We would like to do 6 to 8 actual events a year. We do have a lot of high school cheer teams that train at Cheer Athletics. We do a lot of tumbling, a lot of stunting classes. And so we really feel that by the time all said and done, we will have 400 to 500,000 non-unique visits a year just because Cheer Athletics is right here in this location. And again, we can't be more excited about it. We want to thank the mayor and the city council for working with us on this.
Craig, we've talked about Cheer Athletics every week on the show because you guys are gracious enough to be sponsors of the program. But for those people who have missed it, what exactly is All-Star Cheer, and what exactly does Cheer Athletics do for its members? I'm
glad you asked, because when people, especially in Nebraska, hear the term cheer, they think of the sideline football cheerleader type. And while that's great, this is more the Cirque Soleil of cheer. It's the throwing in the air. Our ceilings are 32 feet high, and we have national teams that compete all over the country. This coming year, we'll be competing in Denver, Dallas, Orlando, Kansas City, and it gives our kids an opportunity to do just a wider range of athleticism. If you see this sideline on college football Saturdays, you'll see the flipping and the stunting. It's a big part of that. And we're really excited about this as well, because come 2028 in the Olympic Games in Los Angeles, cheer is now sanctioned as an Olympic sport, and you'll start seeing it in the games. So excited about that.
Now it's too early to talk about what else might be coming to that 34-acre site north of Highway 370 in Gretna. But basically, for now, we can say you plan on having a lot of other businesses there in addition to this major Cheer Athletics facility.
As the mayor and I have discussed about this project, it's the gateway to Gretna, and we want this to be a special family destination. It will complement Cheer Athletics. We're going to have some amazing things there. We've already got some projects in the works to help support our families as they drop off their kids for cheer, or they want to do surrounding things there just in that area. It's going to be really exciting.
Well, speaking of that area, let's bring on Mayor Evans to the microphone again. Mayor, Craig just said that you've described this area as the gateway to Gretna. Talk to us about what that means to you and how this 34-acre development anchored by Cheer Athletics will change the 370 corridor.
Well, while it's a gateway, I think the great thing about this project is it really mirrors our community. So while we love the growth and all the fantastic, cool businesses coming out here, things that really fit Gretna or continue to what make Gretna special and make it a community. Instead of just growth, it really just adds to who we are. And so having somebody like Craig and his team with their vision, it'll make more sense as you hear more, but it'll be part of Gretna. It's not all this kind of stuff on the edge. It's really the core of where our community is, and having access to amenities like that is really going to continue to make our quality life special.
So immediately east of this cheer athletics site is the Gretna Landing development, and we understand that'll be anchored by a Fleet Farm store and some apartments, and then there have already been several smaller buildings built on pad sites. Talk to us a little bit, Mayor, about how this complements that development and then the world's greatest Hy-Vee development just east of that.
No, it really has turned out just an incredible development. I mean, just think 3 or 4 years ago, there was a farmhouse there, and now it's just a fantastic site. So I think what that will do, there'll be a lot of retail, and Metonic is putting some apartments and other community projects just north of there. So I think what Craig's does is bring a lot of visitors that will, complement those retail centers. So he'll bring a lot of, he'll just bring a lot of traffic, good traffic, and I think that'll just blend in with the retail side.
Okay, what about housing? Because it seems like, there's, of course, Gretna's growing fast, but how much housing is planned along that 370 corridor now that you're getting cheer athletics and Fleet Farm and Hy-Vee?
So specifically, Metonic's putting apartments right now. You can see the grading being done, and it's kind of in that Fleet Farm area. And then that's just the first phase of an entire kind of community. So there'll be apartments, and then you'll start seeing some single-family spaces and 1 or 2 bedroom stuff. So that whole area is going to start seeing some more density. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Craig, why don't we get you for a minute before we let you go, because we're going to talk to the mayor about some other projects in Gretna after the break. But give us a little idea, how many young people participate at cheer athletics here in the Omaha area?
We have, walking through our doors, right around 500 athletes every week, and that entails our local and national cheer teams, those that take tumbling and stunting classes, privates. We also have high school cheer teams that practice in our facility. And so we have a wider range of people that come in. We've had athletes drive as far as 2.5 hours, 2 to 3 times a week for an entire season to be part of our cheer athletics. And so we feel very blessed. I want to give a shout out to our coaches who invest in these athletes every week at every practice to not only teach them the skills of all-star cheer, but more importantly to Tiffany and I and Krista is that we want our athletes to leave the day they leave cheer athletics to have life skills. That's the important thing. We know that how important youth sports is to people in our community. We're going to have a great building, but even more than that, we want to be investing in the youth. They're our future, and so the big plans are that, we want to teach about strength and conditioning, taking care of their bodies. We teach about nutrition. We want to have a homework area where we have a tutor where they can, if they're struggling in a certain class, that we can help them with that. We want to be really a service to the community, even more than being an all-star cheer gym.
All right. Currently located in Papillion, but will soon be moving to the 370 corridor in Gretna in this beautiful new building. Craig, any ballpark estimate for groundbreaking and opening?
We're hoping summer to between June and maybe October of next year. Could be earlier than that, but want to be conservative. We'll see.
That's to start construction or to open?
No, to start construction.
Okay.
So we're hoping by the end of 26, maybe the 27 at the beginning of 27 at the latest. But we take it day by day. We know how construction goes. We know how this process goes, and we'll be patient. But we're very excited about this. And again, I want to give a shout out to Mayor Evans and the City Council for working with us on this project. It's without them, we wouldn't be here. So we're very excited about it.
Well, we appreciate that, Craig. Congratulations to you. And like you mentioned, the mayor, we'll talk about some more Gretna growth with the mayor after the middle of the show break. But you are listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by the aforementioned Cheer Athletics, along with Dingman's Collision Center. Back in a moment on News Radio 1110 KFAB. And welcome back to the Grow Omaha show. Jeff Beals here, along with Trenton Magid, and we are brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, along with Cheer Athletics. Well, without any further ado, it is time for our commercial real estate development spotlight of the week, which is brought to you by Noddle Companies, noddlecompanies.com. They are famous around here for blockbuster developments and big-time, beautiful building projects, headquarters buildings like Valmont, Fortune 1000 company in Heartwood Preserve near 150th and West Dodge Road. Noddle Companies built that building. How about the HDR building? HDR, one of the world's biggest and most respected architecture and engineering firms. Their headquarters in Exarban Village, built by Noddle Companies. Shoot, the entire Exarban Village was developed by Noddle Companies. Same with River's Edge and Council Bluffs, the Builders District downtown, and many, many other projects. Well, today's news comes from the Exarban area. Exarban Village has a development just to the northwest of it called Shops at Exarban. And we have an announcement there. Blue Hawaii, a new sushi restaurant, has officially opened in that shopping center. The actual address is 1301 South 72nd Street. It's a locally owned restaurant, and it's actually a spin-off concept from the owners of Oma Opoki and Sushi, which is located near 124th and West Dodge Road. I've been there several times because it's not far from where Trenton and I work. And that is your Noddle Companies commercial real estate development spotlight of the week. Blue Hawaii, new sushi restaurant, Shops at Exarban, northwest corner of Exarban Village. And we thank Noddle Companies for making that possible. You can learn more about them and see all of their projects at noddlecompanies.com. Well, Trenton, we have the mayor of Gretna with us, our good friend, Mike Evans. And Mike, that was fun talking about Craig's project and the new Cheer Athletics coming in late 26 or early 27 to the Highway 370 corridor. Do you have anything else going on in your town?
We're just looking for things to do out in Gretna. Quite honestly, that's not the truth at all. The great thing about our community isn't that it's growing, but it's the things like Craig's project that are making it even better. So we're just so excited to have them there. But there are more going on, so I'd be happy to talk a little bit about that. I know everybody talks about Gretna Landing, everything's changing, what's going to be there. I do know a couple things that will be there. The rest is, speculation a little bit.
Can you say anything?
Well, and then a lot of people probably know these. I think there's an Aldi's that's coming out there that I think a lot of people are excited about having Aldi's out there. Arby's, there's a McDonald's. Chase Bank is, that's getting pretty close to get opening. And I think a lot of people don't even know there's a Walgreens out there that opened that I think people haven't realized. There's so much going on, it might get missed, but Walgreens opened maybe a month or so ago.
All right. So that's Gretna Landing. That is the area where Fleet Farm is planning to go, as well as the major Hy-Vee. Trenton?
There's also land on the south side of Highway 370. There's still a lot of land. Most of it's in developers' hands, but it's going to be a decade or two before you really start feeling that Gretna is out of land, right?
Oh yeah, there's still quite a bit of land south of 370, and there's a lot already kind of penciled in on that other Gretna Landing that we can't talk about. But when that's done, that will be just a fantastic power center, and then south will just follow. But you still need that density to support all that. So I'm sure housing will follow.
Well, Mike, the other, the big area of development that everyone's talking about in Gretna is the Good Life District. And this is the thousands of acres that centers on Nebraska Crossing, but then spreads out quite a ways from there. We understand that we need to have a public vote in the city. Where are we at with the Good Life District, and how will that vote election determination play out?
Well, it gets a little bit into the weeds, but you don't necessarily need that vote to have the project go forward. So there's there's different ways to kind of monetize this state incentive. So I think one thing is that, the applicant may proceed without even, doing the vote, which is fine. That's certainly a way you can go. And then the vote to create this economic development program kind of unlocks a whole different set of way to monetize this state incentive. But so you don't necessarily need the vote to move forward.
So then why do they want it?
Well, generally, the legislator and the governor passed that bill this spring thinking this is the best way to maximize the state's incentives. But there's also, with the lack of sales tax being captured, you can still, monetize that sales tax and do a project.
Oh, okay. Now, of course, the Good Life District is on the southern edge of Gretna, and from there, Highway 6, Highway 31 goes north, and that takes you eventually, if you're going north from Nebraska Crossing, to that new massive park that the city completed. Two-part question. First of all, how's the park doing? And secondly, right next to it, that's where we understand the new Gretna Civic Center is going to go. Bring us up to speed with that, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, the park has just been a fantastic add to our community. I haven't seen you out there at the baseball field, Jeff. I know we did the Slump Busters, and we had tons of teams from all over the country there. Park has been so active all this year. Now, I think our community has like 9,300, citizens right now. The Y, I just checked this morning, has 10,000 members at that site. So it just shows you how it's really stuck in our community, and it's so active.
Seems pretty impressive. Okay, so what about the Civic Center? Because we know that you're going to be getting a nice fancy office over there by that park eventually, aren't you?
I don't know. I office out of my pickup, so I don't know if I had any room what I would do with it. But more importantly, it's going to be a community center, and it's going to really provide our community some amenities that they didn't have, a new library, and then tied in with City Hall. Put that all together next to the park and a mixed-use development that will be, sketched out or visioned later. I think that area is just going to be a real heart and soul of our community when it's all done.
And then, not too terribly long ago, we saw the opening of all of those roads and streets that were built and created so much connectivity around 180th and Giles and over to 192nd. And now when I drive through there, I'm already seeing a lot of residential subdivisions pop up. How do you see that area developing over the next few years, Mr. Mayor?
Well, that was a fantastic project led by Sarpy County. I mean, it was they thought ahead. And it was needed because not only did it, create some connectivity, it took a lot of pressure off Highway 631. So now not everybody in Western Sarpy and Douglas needs to go over to the highway and down. You can come straight down, 192nd or 180th. So there's a lot of housing already being built there. I've seen plans for some mixed use as well. So you'll see that fill in, I think, rather quickly because it's dense all around it.
Well, we appreciate you coming on the show, Mike, and giving us an update. And congratulations on the success that you and everyone out in Gretna has had so far. And best wishes for what's probably going to be some pretty explosive development over the next few years. Well,
we're doing our comp plan. We really are focused on community. Everything we do, we focus on our community, our quality of life of our residents. So while we love the growth, our heart's in the town. So it's fun to grow, and we're going to make this, just the best community we can.
Well, that's Mayor Mike Evans from Gretna, and we'll keep an eye on this Gretna Landing project, cheer athletics projects, and the Good Life District and everything else going on in that area. Trent, did you want to say something before we go real fast?
Thanks, Mike.
Okay, that was succinct. We appreciate that. All right. Mike Evans, Mayor of Gretna. We're going to take our final break of the show, and when we come back, we're going to be doing the Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round, in which we talk about a lot of things in a little bit of time. That's the sound of the list. There's a lot on it. Stay with us. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Cheer Athletics and Dingman's Collision Center on News Radio 1110 KFAB. And welcome back to Grow Omaha, the area's only show dedicated to the growth and development of your favorite city. And it is time for the Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round. And we want to thank Perkins Kreitzer Construction for making this possible. They are an outstanding construction company, general contractor, and they do big projects, buildings built from the ground up, but they also do a lot of interior build out. Just last week, we told you that they will be the ones building out the new Funny Bone Comedy Club and Draftcade, which is a really cool bar arcade that's going to be part of the Funny Bone, all in 17,000 square foot space in Miracle Hills. That's just an example of some of the projects they do. But they build, schools and churches and office buildings and shopping centers, everything in between. They got 30 years of experience. Many of their leaders have 30 years of experience in the construction industry. And we know Dave Kreitzer, who runs the place personally, and have the utmost confidence in his ability to deliver great construction projects in a timely and cost-effective manner. So strongly recommend Perkins Kreitzer Construction. Sometimes you might see them as just PC Construction, same company, same people. All right, a few things that we have on the docket, Trenton. The first one is we've got a new business that has opened in near 147th and Grover.
Yep.
It is a retail outlet for auto detailers.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. A client of mine called Custom Detail Supply. It's your local source for professional grade detailing products. Clark Sisson, his wife Sandy, and his boys, they've been in business, the industry for a long, long time, but they have very professional grade products that everyone can go and get. They supply a lot of the car dealerships, a lot of detail shops, but you can get it direct if you wish. And tomorrow is their grand opening party for their retail store. I was just over there this morning. It's 147th and Grover Street. Call it 14730 in Alltech Business Park, or near Alltech Business Park, I should say. And from 10:30 a.m. to 2 o'clock today, they will be open.
All right. Ivy Brook Academy, a half-day preschool, is opening August 12th in a former FNBO branch building.
Jeff, I apologize. It's actually July 20th, but 14730 Grover Street, Custom Detail Supply, 10:30 a.m. to 2 o'clock on July 20th, not today.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute, though. Today, what is the date today? It is July 20th.
Oh, yeah, it is today.
Yeah, okay. All righty. So Ivy Brook Academy, a half-day preschool, is opening August 12th in a former FNBO branch building southeast of 168th and Giles. Ivy Brook started in North Carolina, now has 60 locations. Closest existing ones are in Rogers, Arkansas, northwest Arkansas area, and the Denver area. But this is that bank building that had been sitting there for a while, and a lot of people kept asking us at Groma, what's going to go into that former FNBO bank? Now you know it's a preschool. Taro Room, Omaha's newest speakeasy, is located on the backside of Circo. That's the Italian restaurant, 192nd and Q Street. Soft opening was last weekend. It's fully operational now. To access, you got to go through Circo, check in with the hostess, and get put on the wait list. I don't think you have to have a secret handshake.
Yep.
And Trent, have you been to Circo, that Italian restaurant?
Yeah, I liked it. It'll be interesting to see how it develops.
Yeah, I've been there too. I thought it was pretty good. Michelle Alfaro, who is the owner of Sauced by Alfaro, was asked to be on a show on the Food Network. It is already filmed. It'll air sometime next year. And they found her. She didn't go looking for it, but we'll have more details about that as they become available. We have a new restaurant coming to the Blackstone district, Cohen. Cohen is a new Japanese barbecue and izakaya concept. It'll open this fall next to, in the same building as Insomnia Cookies in the Blackstone area. It's going to have, so it'll be a top floor entrance on Harney Street. So this building is both on Farnham and Harney Street. The lower level is on Farnham. The upper level is on Harney. This will be on the Harney side. So Cohen Japanese restaurant coming to the Blackstone district. Early Bird coming soon to 168th and Center. We've talked about this before. This is in the former Tanner's Bar and Grill space, but the signage is up, which means that it's getting close.
It's coming.
And once the sign's up, that's when they're playing for keeps, and it's getting serious. And yet another entry into the breakfast and lunch business. A Foreign Taste has officially closed at Standing Bear Plaza near 144th and 4th. It's going to be replaced by a Mexican restaurant called Casa Jalisco Mexican Bar and Grill. We are out of time, so appreciate everyone being with us. I'm Jeff Beals.
And I'm Trenton Magid.
You've been listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, Cheer Athletics, and Perkins Kreitzer Construction. We'll chat with you next week at 9 right here on News Radio 1110 KFAB. If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.